Welcome you to Budapest, the capital of Hungary, and especially in this historical and beautiful building, which is the most beautiful parliament building in the world. It's a pleasure for us to host you here and to open this conference. And let me also say a few words about the situation of the mothers and the families, as I myself am the mother of 4 children, and I consider the issue of demography to be the most important in the 21st century for Europe and for my country, Hungary. I sincerely believe that we can only preserve our country if we focus on supporting the families living there. We have to face the fact that with such demographic indicators, public finances will simply become unsustainable in 2 or 3 decades. For me, it is unacceptable to replace children who should be born in Europe with migrants from other cultures. We must defend Hungary, we must defend Europe. Thank you for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, I welcome you all to our conference. I would like to extend a special welcome to our guests, our allies from all over Europe. I welcome Mr. Mikael Jansson, the Vice President of Alternativ for Sweden, Mr. Nicola Rimoldi, the party leader of Mass-Voll from Switzerland, Josef Nerušil, the local councillor of Prague from Freedom and Direct Democracy from Czech Republic. With you and with our most important allies to the west and east of Hungary, the delegations of the Dutch Forum for Democracy and the Bulgarian Revival, we want to strengthen our alliance here today. With this conference in Budapest, we wanted not only to repay the wonderful invitations to Sofia, Amsterdam and Stockholm, but also to declare that the parties present here today must lead the creation of a new European alliance. Our parties had almost the same goals and programs even before we had any contact. While I was starting to talk about the Great Reset in my YouTube videos, Thierry Baudet, the leader of Forum for Democracy, wrote a book, which we have just translated into Hungarian and published in Hungary, which is a guiding light for us on the whole Great Reset and COVID stories. While in other videos on YouTube, I was talking about the real motivations behind the war in Ukraine, Mr. Kostadin Kostadinov opened the eyes of millions of people, not only in Bulgaria, but in other countries as well, with the truths that only he had the courage to speak about. The fact is that not only do our parties have similar programs, but our parties have almost identical histories. We have all been confronted with politicians who, out of cowardice and opportunism, have not had the courage to speak the truth and have betrayed their people and have in fact served our global oppressors. The saddest thing is that these politicians were in our own political communities. We are bound together by the fact that it was us who did not become traitors. We are the ones who refused to lie to our people. We are the ones who refused to be politically correct. And we are the ones who were mocked and made fun of because they believed they had defeated us. But we proved them wrong. Not only have we survived and are now leading our communities, but we are growing stronger. And this strength can be given a huge boost if we continue to fight not alone, but together. Just as in our own countries we have not become traders, we have not given up our principles and we have not wanted to be politically correct, neither should we make the wrong compromises in European politics. Our duty is to create a new European policy and a new European alliance. One that is more brave and more outspoken than it has ever been before. One that is accountable only to God and to the nation, not to some miserable marionette puppets like the European Commission or even the World Health Organization. Here in Budapest today, we have outlined our common goals in a single declaration which makes it clear to see what we are fighting for. These are historic times. The world is being transformed, a new world order is being created. All the processes that are harmful to European nations have accelerated. Millions of migrants are flooding the countries of Europe. Censorship of social media is becoming more and more violent, and the control, the monitoring and surveillance of people is increasing. There are more and more extreme attempts to destroy families with LGBTQ and other harmful liberal propaganda and to create a completely values anti-traditional world where there are only faceless consumers. The servant of this dark process is the European Union, and the army of this dark force of a circle of financiers who have never been democratically elected is currently the NATO. However, there is also a chance that the current unipolar world order could be replaced by a multipolar world order that is better than the present one. Now is the time to be very vigilant. We want real and radical changes. We do not want to make slight changes to the current system, but still keep serving it. So it's time for us to act. We must be very selective with our European allies, because in these historic times, we have a huge historic responsibility. Here is an opportunity to finally stop the destruction of Europe of nations. But if we choose the wrong allies, our nations could fall. We can only choose allies who grasp the essence, the roots of this global dark force, who are brave and honest, who are true comrades, who are not afraid and who cannot be bribed either. We have now invited such parties and such politicians from different parts of Europe, the ones who are showing the way. We are capable of saving Europe from destruction. Future generations will be grateful to us if we create this historic alliance now. Let's go and do it. Thank you very much.
До година има европейски избори и ние трябва да направим така, че да успеем да се превърнем в общоевропейски фактор.
Next year we will have European elections and we will have to strive to get back our Europe.
Гласът на хората, които искат Европа да бъде за европейците, трябва да бъде чут в Брюксел и във всяка една европейска държава.
The sound of the Europeans has to be heard also in Brussels and in all of Europe.
Европейският съюз в този си вид се превръща в заплаха за европейската цивилизация.
It's also very important the European Union, as we know it, it's a danger for the European civilization.
I cannot express enough my gratitude to Laszlo and his team and the people that have worked so hard to make this possible. It really is a dream come true for me to be here with people from different countries in Europe, different regions, different languages, who have experienced the same fights. We were all told that we were the only ones, that we were the crazy ones, that we were marginal, that we were absolutely on the outer fringes of acceptable opinion. And here we are, making a friendship, building an alliance. I think this is a crucial moment, and I think it's only the beginning, but it's a crucial turning point in the history of Europe, in the political history of our continent. I hope in next year, in June, when the elections for the European Parliament will happen, I hope this alliance will translate into wonderful election results in all our respective nations. I think we can cooperate. I think we can exchange best practices in terms of campaigning, in terms of organizing rallies, in terms of exchanging facts and discoveries and asking questions once we are elected, and really starting to work for the people that we feel so connected to, that we feel a duty to represent and to protect against all the very, very dangerous plans that are being drawn up in the international circles where the globalists meet, where the big corporations and the ambitious politicians are making their deals. We're standing up to them. And today is the first meeting of, I hope, many to follow. And I think that if we join forces and if we really align each other on the same agenda, on the same points, and we stay loyal to each other and we continue to live by our friendship, I think there are no limits to what we can achieve. Thank you so much to all of you, and I'm looking forward with great enthusiasm to all the things we're going to do together. Thank you.
Believe in anything like governance of Brussels, of NGOs, or of other activists. We believe that we are a sovereign nation and that we should govern our country by ourselves. Just one short comment how we see European Union. We don't believe that we are able to reform European Union. We believe that it's better to pass through controlled dissolution of the European Union, and then we should focus on cooperation between neighboring countries. That's
While the socialists and liberals work together with the aim to concentrate the real power in Brussels, we also need to cooperate, but our goal is the opposite. We want to keep the nation states alive and free. Brussels shall never be the capital in a one-nation Europe. To form the best possible party group for the European Parliament is very important. My party, Alternativ for Sweden, are not at the moment a member of the European Parliament. We think that we have a great chance to be a member in the next election due to the fact that we are the only party in Sweden who want Sweden to leave the European Union. Mass immigration to Europe is one of the biggest problem we have. The proportion of the immigration is in a scale that we can call it an ongoing catastrophe. I mentioned a lot of problems that we need to put an end to. At the same time, it's important to understand that it's never too late. We can still save Europe. Our wonderful countries, our great history, and our successful science and enterprises. All that should continue. Europe is the best part of the world. Our hard work shall create a great future for our kids in the Europe of nations. Good luck to us all in the upcoming election to the European Parliament. Thank you.
My friends, the hour is late, but it is not too late to stop the globalists, and the Great Reset. To preserve what we hold dear, not only for ourselves, but for generations yet to come, for our children and their children, to save our nations, our families, and the future of this great place called Europe. I say to you all, pay the highest price and endure every hardship. Give all you have and then give some more. Sacrifice everything and then sacrifice some more. And in the end, we will prevail because we must prevail. We will save Europe because we must save Europe. Thank you.